how to amend sandy soil in your yard to hold water and nutrients so that your plants are happy and they don't dry out in the summer. Let me tell you a little bit about this yard. We moved here last winter, not this past one, but the winter before, and I came from a yard that had pretty good soil. And when I got here, I was excited that I was in a situation where nothing had ever been planted there before. I thought I'd have a lot of soil fertility when I started, and because it's basically as sandy as a beach on this yard, I didn't have a lot of fertility, and my plants remained pretty small most of the season last year. So I've learned a lot, and it didn't stop me, and I looked into a lot of different ways to help retain moisture and nutrients and to keep those plants happy and to get them to do a little better this year. And I've been really successful so far. So I wanted to share a little bit about what I've learned with you. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look into sheet mulching. And it's also called lasagna gardening. It's really great because it's a no-till method of gardening, which means you don't have to break your back and dig real deep. You don't have to double dig amendments down into your soil. You layer layers of organic material on top of the soil and let the critters do the work to pull it down further into the soil for you. This is great because you can use a lot of different kind of materials. You use whatever you have on hand or whatever is really available to you, readily available to you. So some of the things that you can use when you're starting a new bed and you're going to layer on your layers of organic material is cardboard. And right after we moved, I had plenty of that. I emptied out my moving boxes and I spread out my cardboard around on the ground first. So that kind of defined where my beds were going to be. And then on top of that, you layer shredded leaves, you layer shredded paper, you layer kitchen scraps, and kitchen scraps include banana peels and coffee grounds and eggshells and apple cores and anything from the kitchen that's gonna break down eventually, something that you'd add to a compost pile. What you don't want to add from the kitchen are things like meat or bones or dairy or grease. Those things will not do well in the yard. They'll promote disease. They will bring critters. You really don't want that. Critters that you don't want in your garden. So you leave those in the garbage and you take the biodegradable stuff and you put it in the garden. Other things that you can layer on your lasagna gardening is seaweed, which we have plenty of at the Jersey Shore. So I am lucky enough to have... There I am. Okay, sorry about that. We were interrupted for a moment. So I took my pickup truck to the beach and I used a light wheelbarrow, a garden cart, and I collected some seaweed and I brought it back and spread it out on the gardens too. That's great because it's weed-free, the seaweed, and it's high in mineral content. So if you have depleted soil, then the seaweed will really help to nourish it. So let me show you a little bit of what I've done and you can take a look for yourself. While I'm showing you the garden, I'll tell you a couple of other tips about how to amend your sandy soil. Okay. So this is what we have this season. Now, that's a Nanking cherry. I'm not going to tell you everything that's planted here because I plant a lot of different stuff. And a lot of it's edible, but some of it is ornamental. And because it's my front yard, so I want some curb appeal too. Now you can see that right now my mulch is all different colors. I am going to go to the municipality and get some compost to make it look a little more even and kind of top dress everything. This is a bonfire peach tree, and I wanted those nice red leaves. I thought they looked really good, and there are some peaches growing on there. I don't know if you can really see them or not. I also wanted to tell you guys about comfrey. Now, comfrey is well loved by the permaculture community, and permaculture is really a type of sustainable gardening. It's a lot more than that. Permaculture people will probably be upset that I described it that way, but that's the short version. So comfrey is a great plant, which I have put around a lot of the fruit trees. These guys are small comfrey plants, but you can see the purple flowers hanging from them. Comfrey has a really deep taproot, so that sends a root way down deep into the soil, which takes nutrients that might be very, very deep that other plants around it might not be able to reach, and it shares those nutrients because it brings it up to the soil surface, and then you can chop and drop comfrey throughout the season. It's a very hardy plant. So as it's growing, you can really cut it down, spread it around the other plants, and the main plant will grow back. And as you chop and drop the top of the plant, the roots also die back a little bit and then regenerate. As that happens, that dieback helps to build the soil. It improves it by adding organic matter that feeds the critters that are in the soil, the worms and the microorganisms, and it helps them be really happy. These are coral bells. They're going to bloom really soon. There's a lot of buds on there. This is bee balm, and that's going to bloom. And last year that started out as just a tiny little patch, maybe 3 or 4 stalks, and it's really spread out. It's so happy now. The hummingbirds love that. A peony and a high bush cranberry, and this is just the second year for this, which is an elderberry bush, and it's doing so well. It's gotten so big, and it's going to get twice this big by next year. I'm sure of it. I'm also very optimistic. So this is the garden so far. I'm happy to share it with you. I hope that what I said was helpful to you, and if you have any questions about how to amend sandy soil, please put them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. You can see here's another comfrey plant. This one is a little bigger, and that's right around the blueberry bushes. The blueberries are doing real well. There's a lot of berries on there. They're going to turn blue soon, and I'll have to protect them from the birds. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching. And if you want to learn more, please visit my blog at MyNJGarden.com. Again, I'm Lisa, Jersey Shore Lisa, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much. Have a great day.